Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another DLC. I'm your host today, Joey Fitz, and today we're going to talk about a game called Winter Survival. Before we get into the episode, I do want to, as always, thank our friends over at Game.press and the developer of this game, Drago Entertainment, for the review copy of the game. It's very much appreciated. Winter Survival is a gritty, atmospheric survival game that recently hit version 1.0. If you're into unforgiving wilderness games where nature itself feels like the villain, this one is one you should definitely check out. But it's not without its ups and downs. At its core, Winter Survival is a first-person survival experience set in a really harsh, snowy wilderness. Your character is stranded, injured, and the point is to stay alive long enough to get rescued. While doing this, you've got to balance hunger, thirst, warmth, fatigue, and then even your mental state as you descend into stress and isolation. Part survival sim, part psychological tension ride. From the moment that you start the game, it nails that feeling of being alone in the cold. Snowstorms, whipping wind, limited visibility, it all comes together to make you feel very small and very vulnerable in a big empty world or a sandbox. Visually, the game doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it does make a really good sense of bleak wilderness that fits within the theme. Now, although the cold and the environment itself is a massive part of the game, I want to talk here about the most tense part of the game: predators. So, in my playthrough, I came across two predators in the wild. You will encounter wolves. They roam in packs. They can be very aggressive if you catch their attention, but you can scare them off with fire or a torch. The most effective strategy is to try and sneak around them, or even craft spears to fight them, but they're definitely something to respect when you're low on health and you're cold. Then, worse than the wolves, there are bears. Bears are big, territorial heavyweights of the wilderness, and these guys aren't just here to be background flavour. They can be relentless threats if you stumble into their territory with no plan, and even if they don't chase you instantly, you'll definitely feel their presence in the world and quickly learn that sometimes the best fight is to not fight at all. So between the wolves and bears, you've got real biological pressure on you, not just the hunger and the cold. Wildlife here isn't just to look pretty in the snow, it's often actively dangerous. The survival mechanics within this game are deep. As I said, you're managing hunger, thirst, warmth, exhaustion, and mental health all at the same time. That mental health bar is a really good twist that you don't normally see in these kind of games. As isolation creeps in and predators lurk in the shadows, your sanity begins to slip and the game blurs the line between real danger and hallucination. That's cool in theory, but it can often feel overwhelming at first because you're juggling a lot without always getting the clearest tutorials on each system. I would say that a game like Green Hell did this mechanic probably slightly better than Winter Survival. So, as you explore in Winter Survival, you have to be methodical. You're not sprinting across the map with a glow stick, you're edging forward, you're watching your stamina, checking the weather, you're stopping and listening for wolves howling in the distance. Finding a cabin, a shelter, or even lighting a fire, especially when wolves or other predators are nearby, can be immensely satisfying. That being said, the world can feel a little bit empty in spots, and that is probably intentional, part of the oppressive loneliness. But this adds an extra challenge that means that the game probably won't be everyone's cup of tea. Another big thing in this game is crafting. It's a survival crafting game after all. Crafting isn't about building big bases or complicated machinery like Factorio or Satisfactory. It's practical. You build fires to stay warm, tools to survive, and spears to defend yourself, if you're feeling brave enough. And these choices matter because sparking a fire might scare off wolves, but it might also attract other dangers. So that campfire moment is always quite tense. Now listen, this game is not gentle, it's demanding, and it's a little rough around the edges. but the difficulty should definitely be part of the appeal. You earn your survival in this game. If you like to experiment with failure, you'll probably enjoy this game. So the game itself is pretty polished, but in terms of some of the aspects like combat, it can feel a little bit stiff, especially around wildlife behaviour. But still, for an indie survival title with psychological elements layered on top, it's a bold and pretty interesting package. If you're looking for a calm survival walk or big storytelling arcs, this game might not be for you. But if you like a methodical survival system, tense atmospheres, wildlife that feels dangerous, and survival as an experience, this could be right up your street. So, that was my review of Winter Survival. Have you played it? Have you seen it? If you have, let us know in our Discord. If not, check it out. I'd say it's worth the time if you like this kind of genre. As I said, I've been Joey Fitz. Thanks again to Drago Entertainment and Game.Press for the review copy of the game, and I'll catch you next time for our next episode of DLC.